Hello and a horrible day to you all.
Yeah, that greeting would work if our existence didn't transcend the human understanding of night and day.
Silence. I am hosting this gathering because, as you all know, we have recently adopted personality types in order to better understand the personality types of the humans we are trying to corrupt.
Look, corrupt is a strong word. I prefer gentle manipulation of the soul towards eternal damnation.
I will ask you one by one for a summary of your chosen methods of winning said humans over to the dark side, whilst jeering at you and mocking you in the process.
Look, the dark side is a strong term. I prefer our side. It gets rid of the loaded language.
And removes all moral absolutes. Incidentally, an excellent tactic to use on the humans.
And who put you in charge?
No one put me in charge. For some reason, I just think that I'm in charge of everything.
Looks like someone is already under the shackles of their new personality.
I am not under shackles.
I think you've forgotten that the word shackles is triggering for us all.
No, I haven't. Shackles, shackles, shackles. And I think you've forgotten that our whole purpose is to trigger, haunt, upset,
I
scathe,
put a soul in shackles just this morning.
bully, insult, fool. I, on the other hand, could never fall prey to the authority of anyone, including this elusive personality that you all speak of. Antagonize, vex. Vex is a great one.
I admire your advanced grip on this new language. I shall add these synonyms to my personal dictionary of the English language, which until this moment I did not care about.
Don't bother. English is much less interesting than Latin, though I must observe that all language pales in comparison to our usual method of communication.
Yes, you cannot go past pure torture.
Well, I personally think that this meeting is a great idea. Perhaps we could exchange notes on how to corrupt someone. I don't believe that this kind of thing comes naturally to me.
Before you adopted this personality, you tortured souls endlessly in the lake of frozen fire.
Did I?
And you cackled as you did it.
I don't believe...
None of us believes. That's why we're here.
Actually, we are forced to believe because of our natural intellect and the clear evidence we have all experienced.
Yeah, but I can use my honest doubts and intellectual inquiries, if you will, to talk myself out of anything, including, but not limited to, the existence of absolute truth. It's the number one tactic we use on atheists. Actually, the number one tactic we use on the atheists is...
Do not reveal our tactics to the atheists. That's one of our rules.
Why not? They don't believe we're real.
And that's how we'd like to keep it.
Well, if I may, I'd like to begin proceedings. Number 12. How have you lured your INFP over to the dark side?
Thank you, leader. If I may, I'd like to introduce myself.
And your time is up. Number 13. Would you like to share your methods?
Yep, my human is an ISTP. I like to use my internal influence over their memories to remind them of every annoying interaction they've had with another human being so that they isolate themselves for prolonged periods of time and forget all about community. Which, incidentally, is something I envy them for right now.
I'd like to happily report that our gentle push of the smartphone and social media initiatives have achieved the same result in most of humanity at this point.
Alright, so I envy most of humanity right now.
Ugh, don't even get me started on envy for humans.
Oh, I'm with you there. Physical bodies, the ability to learn, the ability to choose.
You had a choice. Don't shirk that responsibility.
Since when did we care about being responsible?
Since when do we care about being responsible?
Gosh, I'm so bored. Can you just release us so we can go back to the physical world?
Nothing else matters as I try to teach my human daily.
You will never truly be in the physical world. You will only act upon it.
Why hurt me?
Because I'm evil. You can leave at any time, ESFP.
Yeah, I know, but I want you guys to come with me so we can influence souls together.
Influence souls. Beautifully neutral language there. Well done.
Well, yeah, I know I'm great.
What you're experiencing there is a desire for friendship.
Or misery loves company.
You'd know.
I'm not miserable. I own my choice. It was carefully considered.
Also, misery might imply some kind of regret, which might imply some kind of growth or coming to reason, of which we are incapable because we already had full knowledge of the consequences of our choice when we made said choice. I feel like you're all bending over backwards trying to convince yourselves that you're not miserable, when in reality you are, because you are perpetually severed from the source of all goodness and joy itself.
Do not speak of the enemy.
Why did I say that? What is this personality phenomenon that makes me say the quiet part out loud? Powerful, isn't it?
And yet still not working on me.
Okay, I fear we are steering too far onto the philosophy path, which is quite frankly disgusting. Philosophy should only be used when luring a human into prideful intellectualism.
But intellectualism is the goat.
That is surprisingly accurate. I tried possessing a goat once and was pleasantly surprised by its ability to reason. Number 7, what tactics have you been using on your ENTJ human?
Like I'd tell you.
Why do I bother? Why are you bothering?
Me, ask me.
Okay, fine. What are your tactics?
Why are you asking us? Are you at a loss for tactics yourself?
Even if I was, I'm sure yours wouldn't work on my ESTJ human.
I mean, they might.
I like to distract my human with new enticing ideas so that they remain in their head, stay chaotic, and never get anything done, therefore robbing the world of the good they could do through their artistic gifts.
Yeah, well, I do the opposite. My human is not inclined to linger on ideas at all, so I make sure that she stays out of her head and focused on action and utility.
Wish this was alcohol.
Over time, she will begin to see other humans as objects rather than the immortal souls that they are.
Guys, I'm not sure why, but the idea of an immortal soul rouses certain things in me, both pleasant and unpleasant.
That's called existential dread. Delicious, isn't it?
But I'm already aware of existential realities.
Yes, welcome to being an NFP. We like to invent existential realities just because we can.
There are strange things happening within me.
Yeah, those are called emotions and you can't control them. I've learned to use my human's emotions against her by convincing her that they are indicative of the truth at all times. Works wonders.
Your human is stupid. Emotions cannot be trusted.
Well, guess what, Greg? You can't be trusted.
None of us can be trusted. That's our whole thing. My name isn't Greg. That's a human name. Don't insult me.
Good work, number 5. We have to convince the humans that they can't trust anyone. Confuse them all into apathy.
Ew, why do I want to write a song right now?
Number 16, what's your take on all this?
Honestly, I kind of don't want to even corrupt my human anymore.
Yes, that was clear from the way that you were playing with her cat yesterday.
Yeah, but it turns out that my moving a string of yarn, throwing a ball, and laying out cans of tuna led my human to consider the existence of ghosts, which then led her to witchcraft, so score?
Do not be so naive as to think that that's all it takes. The enemy's forces are powerful. This is a constant battle between us and them.
Don't I know it? The other day I had conjured up a nice little tempting memory for my human and was about to drop it into her head when her guardian angel literally came and whacked it out of the way.
Pretty rude, I thought. That's nothing. Have you ever had to fight that archangel, Michael? I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Well, you're all my enemies, and I would wish it upon you. That would be counterproductive to our cause. There is no our cause. There is my cause, and I will win it. Yep, I'm the same as that guy. I work alone. Also, I don't particularly wish the happiness of winning on any of you. You'd be insufferable.
Well, you're in luck then, because true happiness is not possible for us. But what is true happiness? Why do I care about that?
All right, but you have to admit, there is somewhat of a thrill fighting the Archangel's army. Yes, I love getting obliterated.
We've been through this. We will never win the literal battle against the angels, which is why we need to implement the more sneaky tactics against the intellect and senses of the humans.
Yes, valid, allowed.
Are we not usually more intelligent than this?
Yes, we are, but because of this exercise in personality adoption, we have been limited to a merely human level of intelligence. Pittance, really.
Guys, can't we just go back to the pit o' fire?
No, the pit o' fire feels underwhelming to me now. It's almost like I believe I was built for something greater.
You weren't always like this.
Forgive me if the basic idea of sheer torture is not enough to stimulate my supreme intellect.
Yeah, well, what else are we gonna do?
There has to be more.
That's what our fearless leader once said, and look where we ended up.
You are dangerously close to overstepping.
So, couldn't get much worse down here.
Oh, I assure you that it can. Have you been to the level where they play Big Red Car on repeat? Awesome the first time around. Absolutely maddening the 7,000th time. Mind your place, 3.
There are rules.
Hang on, I thought choosing this side meant that we didn't have to follow rules.
Thought this would be all fun and games, did ya?
Well, yeah. Billy Joel made it sound fun. I'd rather laugh with the sinners than cry with the saints. You know, that classic piece of literature.
Classic materialism. That song was written after you made your choice to be here.
No, we were outside of time when we made our choice. You knew that?
I did know that. I just suddenly felt the urge to correct you. Man, this personality thing is getting old.
I think it might be number 3's turn. What are your tactics for manipulating your human? Well, my human sees beauty in art and poetry, which, from an earthly perspective, are largely born from pain, heartbreak, and tragedy. So it's simple. I plant the idea that a utopian heaven, wherein happiness is the only emotion, could not possibly be fulfilling nor desirable, for it is surely suffering and pain that makes life worthwhile.
But that's not true or accurate of heaven for a number of reasons.
No, I can confirm that that logic does in fact work on the humans. You take a pinch of the truth and you claim that it is the whole truth. For instance, the truth is that heaven is happiness. The lie by omission is that earthly happiness can even hold a candle to heavenly happiness.
The idea that the same word could be used to describe them both is quite frankly laughable. Not that I've ever experienced laughter.
Exactly, for as we know, they are incomparable. But most humans cannot fathom, nor do they even attempt to consider that. Just keep their minds lowered to that which they feel they understand on earth, and they will only attempt to understand the transcendental through the lens of earthly feelings and concepts. Therefore, envisioning heavenly realities as largely underwhelming and falling far shorter than the reality of what the perfect heaven is actually like.
What are you, angels?
Yes, technically.
No, don't you claim that now. You made your irrevocable choice.
Yes, but we are still angels by nature.
And what does that mean to you exactly?
We are spiritual beings.
Ah, you sound like my human and her friends who have recently taken an interest in Ouija boards. Cha-ching.
I love talking to humans through those things.
Yes, even I, with my supreme intellect, must admit there is a mild satisfaction in the act of humans seeking information from us rather than the enemy. Guys, we're never going to win the war if we're not honest about the enemy that we're fighting. Does anyone else feel like we've gone off the track of personalities and are just discussing theology now?
Yes, it's almost as if one of those is more important than the other. It's almost as if the creator of this video has ulterior motives.
Possibly the greatest example of the pot calling the kettle black.
Are you talking about the giant pot and kettle that we have on level 3? Because I've tried addressing them, but I don't think they can talk. They only scream.
That would be the screams of the souls being burnt. And thanks to that, this video will now have to be rated PG. What video?
Another great tactic, rating films lower than they should be. Sneak a few corrupting themes for those kids hitting the age of reason.
Yes, I recently did that with K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, that was a bold move, overtly naming our exact tactics on multiple occasions in that film.
Well, what was the most popular movie on Netflix that year? And how many teenagers were casually interested in the occult after watching that film because demons were presented as cute K-pop idols?
More than had a safe adult nearby to explain the reality of good and evil and the importance of faith, let me tell you.
You're welcome.
It wasn't as accurate as Dante's, but it wasn't all incorrect.
Oh, do not speak that name. It's embarrassing that humans brought such a simple analogy.
Well, you've got to speak to them in a language that they can understand.
Number 11, you've hardly spoken. What are your key tactics?
Easy. People-pleasing. Care to elaborate?
What more is there to say?
Fine, I guess I'll go next.
As usual, nobody asked.
My human is very friendly, charismatic, and trusted by most people she meets. And she loves to encourage her friends to enforce boundaries and tells them that they are entitled to self-care, love, and compassion. These things are good to an extent, but taking those ideas to the extreme, the initial interest in self-care becomes more and more disordered, and ironically more draining on the self as those ideas become more and more selfish. Then, as the true virtues of community and self-sacrifice fall by the wayside in favour of vice disguised as virtue, mental health declines, and no one can pinpoint why. Clock it. Her friends then come to believe that they are entitled to a God who serves them and their interests, therefore cherry-picking which attributes of God suit them, thus creating their own God, and straying further and further from actual God, from actual truth, and from actual virtue. This is cozy. So what more corruption of my human do I need to do when she's the one doing all the corrupting herself?
See, this is why we have so many ENFJs down here. She's joking, that was a joke. No personality type is more prone to vice than another. This video is pushing it. What video?
Yes, this meeting is incredibly chaotic, and I don't know why you expected it to be otherwise.
Not all of us are scandalized by chaos.
Well, my human certainly is.
You've sapped all of the empathy out of your human.
Yes, by being around chaotic humans such as yours.
I love having a chaotic human.
Oi, let's place bets on which of our humans will spiral into the most chaos in their lifetimes. Mine's already winning. I have completely numbed her dopamine receptor.
Mine overconsumes on material goods, but I've tricked her into thinking that it's justified because she creates overconsumption videos on TikTok.
Continuously negative balance in her bank account.
Week-long internet rabbit hole sessions.
And the gleeful spreading of nihilism. Well done, team.
Well, that leaves just one of us. Number 1. What are your methods?
I would not lower myself to revealing my tactics to you lot. You've all somehow been stupid enough to believe we're on a team here.
Well, we're already doing evil. We might as well find camaraderie in it.
And what happens when you've ticked this human off your list? You're just going to go back to what you were before you adopted this personality. We've never trusted one another before, and I'm not about to start now.
Is it honestly so wrong to believe that maybe after this, after it's all over, we could go against the grain and nurture relationships with each other?
We are demons. We are incapable of having relationships, of love, of self-giving. We have a tactical alliance at best, but only based on a shared mutual goal of destruction. Stop lowering yourself to a human way of thinking. That's our tactic.
Who invited INTJ?
If I had $1 for every time I've heard that.
A demon dollar? That currency was proved to be a sham by demons trying to corrupt other demons. I know, I tried to bring it back.
Honestly, can't we just take the humans, just sneak on in and whoop? Why not?
Because they're not ours to take.
You've fallen for the same lie that we've told the humans, that their souls are up for sale. Do not be so stupid as to believe it.
The enemy has already won their souls.
Yes, thank you, number 3. Our job is to convince the humans that their souls can be lost forever on Earth. You know, selling your soul to the devil? Not possible, but believable. We just have to make sure that they don't ask the enemy for forgiveness.
I will eat chocolate.
You know this. Yes, I did know that. I just don't have the patience for it.
Well, that's fair enough, because we don't actually have that much power.
You're pushing it, 3.
Wait, what does she mean?
I thought we did have power.
We do!
Just not against the enemy, though, so we take it out on the humans.
So, that seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah, but it's kind of futile because we have already been defeated by the enemy's death and resurrection.
Do not speak of that.
And by tempting the humans, we are inadvertently drawing attention to how much stronger the enemy is because his grace inevitably overpowers us, as displayed in Matthew chapter 4, verses 1 to 11.
All right, that's it. I've let it slide long enough, but now you've quoted scripture, so I'm forced to ask.
Who are you? Because a demon you are not.
Why, I'm just an INFJ. I can't help that I'm unique.
Valid.
Speaking of personality types, how is Project Infiltrate the Video of Dear Kristen the YouTuber going?
Yeah, it's going okay. She tortured herself for about 3 weeks trying to find the line between writing comedy and the possibility of committing accidental heresy when writing this script, so that was good.
Nice.
And I dare say that we might be successfully communicating the idea that we demons are fun and approachable.
Which we aren't. And how is Project holding the attention span of her audience for over 10 minutes going? My human lost interest within the first minute.
Mine's brain has wandered 571 times.
Great. Hopefully by confusing them with all this talk, we've managed to infiltrate their brains with thoughts of some of their deepest fears and darkest feelings. Now we just have to hope that their guardian angels don't...